Hi Sixes, welcome to your English lesson today. We're going to continue with literary devices. We've been looking at idioms and what those mean. We're going to be looking at our last set today. And then we're also going to be looking at personification, which is one of my favorite ways of writing. And we'll look at a few of those examples as well. So let's start with P4 today. Identify the meaning of idioms and adages. Set 2. What is the meaning to give someone the third degree? Let's just look at the example again. Feeling under the weather, just a reminder of what it is. So an idiom is a phrase that means something different from what the words in the phrase mean on their own. Under the weather is an idiom. It isn't actually about the weather. It means that someone isn't feeling well. Sally stayed home because she's feeling under the weather. The meanings of idioms cannot be found by looking at the meaning of each word, so you have to remember them or figure out their meanings by looking at how they are used in that sentence. So continue adding to your list anything that comes up that you're unsure of. This is a great way to practice for your idioms understanding. So let's see. What is the meaning of give someone the third degree? Two options: to treat someone like a suspect by asking many questions, or to take someone's temperature. It's actually got nothing to do with degrees. This is what it's like. If you're suspicious of them, you're going to ask them a lot of questions to check if they're really telling the truth. That is giving someone the third degree. Let's look at this one. What is the meaning of out of the woods? I think we've explained this one before. Safe after being in danger or not paying attention. The first one is the truth. Safe after being in danger. And let's look at this last one together. What is the meaning of if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen? Does it mean don't complain about something that is given to you? Or does it mean don't take on a job or a task if it's too much for you? All right. So the second one is the answer. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. If this is too difficult for you, don't even attempt it. Don't try it. So it's not a very nice way to say things to somebody else. This is often heard in competitions where people are rivaling for a position or whatever it is, and it's a very difficult task they have to do. And people are feeling like, oh, this is too difficult, and maybe they're complaining or something like that. And somebody else would say, well, if you can't stand the heat, then get out of the kitchen. Don't take it on. Just let me win the prize. Okay. So this is not one that I encourage you to use at home. Let's look at P5. There we go. Use personification. Let's look at the learn with an example to see what personification is. There's the key idea. Personification is given human characteristics to non-human things. It is a figure of speech that can be used to make writing more interesting or to emphasize a point. Here's an example. The trees danced in the wind. Now, trees don't dance. Can you imagine a tree dancing? However, the way that they're swaying looks a little bit like they are dancing. The word dance describes the trees as if they were people, right? So it's a human characteristic. But unlike people, however, trees can't actually dance. Instead, the personification suggests that the trees are moving or swaying in the wind, right? So let's have a look. Complete the sentence so that it uses personification. So the steaming hot plate of spaghetti, something to be eaten. Could it be called out to be eaten? Would spaghetti do that? No, it wouldn't be able to do that, but that is using a human characteristic and adding that to a non-human spaghetti. It means it was ready to be eaten, but calling out is just such a great way to describe. Alex's favorite meal is, and he calls it biscotti. Biscotti, and it calls to him. Like if it's sitting there on the shelf, he can't help himself. It's like it's calling his name. Have you ever had food that does that? And you can't ignore it. You just have to go and gobble it up. Okay, so using personification, person, make a person out of the spaghetti, and it's like, come eat me, calling out to be eaten. All right, let's try another one. The meadow grasses waltzed in the light breeze of a summer evening. All right, it meant to be bending in the breeze, but waltzing is such a beautiful way to describe it. It's like using the words to really create a good picture of what's happening. This is one of my favorite figures of speech for writing. The ancient car produces thick smoke whenever someone tries to use it. So that is the literal version of it, but using personification, let's make it into a human characteristic. Throws a fit, right? The ancient car throws a fit whenever someone tries to use it, right? It really, like, have you ever had a really old car where it just groans and moans and it's like, oh, come on, you're starting me again, right? Making it into a person. Okay, so that is personification. I hope you enjoy this section. Do also continue making notes if you do make a mistake with these, especially later on when it might become a little bit more tricky. Write things down so that you can refer to them later, so that you can use them as a good study guide. Right, I hope that you have enjoyed that and enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao for now.